Hello, Al Pals. Welcome to Big Al Presents. And tonight, Big Al presents the 1989 film Glory, starring just a wonderful cast of actors: Matthew Broderick, Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, Cary Elwes, and a whole lot more. I chose this film because I wanted to honor Black History Month while we're still in Black History Month. Just another day. Another day left? I think before everything goes away. And of course, I'm talking in. I don't have anybody watching right now, but that's okay. They can come back and watch it later. Of course, I would like to introduce my co-hosts who are with me all the time, and that is Mr. Troy Pacelli, Cartan the Klingon Claire. Welcome, sir. How are you doing?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me here.
I like your avatar. Of course, anybody who knows Star Trek knows the actor
Captain Ben Maxwell.
Yep, Captain Ben Maxwell, played by Bob Gunton. And this one, I forget the character's name offhand, but I knew he was in the film, and I've always liked the actor, so I always like it when he pops up. We also have the lovely Nanette of Netters Network, and of course tonight portraying Cary Elwes,
the lovely Cary Elwes,
the lovely Cary Elwes, Mr. As You Wish himself. How you doing, Nanette?
I'm doing fabulously. And of course, I had to choose the only blonde character I saw.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I almost went with him, but I want to say, of all of Matthew Broderick's films, this is the film I could tolerate him in the most.
Well, see, for me, I'm blonde, so it made sense to have a blonde character.
You go with the blonde. And those of you who are watching, notice there's a fourth screen here. Has someone stepped upon my screen without my permission? Of course not. He has to be here, and of course I was going to invite him anyway, but he beat me to the punch. Mr. Wolf 10 Media himself, the Wolf Commander. How are you doing, sir?
You're gonna relegate my history to a month?
That's why you chose Morgan Freeman.
Hey, at least you've got a month. Where's I'm not gonna where's Viking?
Well, do you want a Jewish History Month? All right then.
Where's Viking History Month? Where's let's pick another weird but
Neanderthal History Month.
Neanderthal, there you go. And isn't it true that Neanderthal there is still some DNA traces?
Most people can trace some Neanderthal DNA, and
I'm sure some of us more than others are.
Like to think so.
Yeah, pronounced Irish, eyebrow ridge will do that. But I'd like to thank you for joining us, Wolfie. How you doing this evening?
Jokes aside, I'm doing great, guys, and I thank you for inviting me. Well, I stepped up to the plate myself,
but I told him while we were still in before we got on here that I was planning to invite him, and I was straight up honest. It was like I wanted someone of African American, to kind of bring that balance to the rewatch, and I don't want to get any weird.
Well,
weird messages are on it. But
it's not only that.
Like I said, if I was doing a rewatch of Star Trek, I'm calling Troy and Batman, and I'm inviting them because those are the Star Trek people. If we're doing Guyver, Owen Lister would get the call. And if I ever do Showgirls, Stephen Cruz, although I haven't think, will be the first one I contact to do Showgirls. And you just want certain people for certain projects. But I am glad that you are joining us tonight.
I put you like this, Al. You want people with the right stuff for the right cause.
The right stuff with the right cause for the right point of view. And like I said, who can bring the right point of view to it. the proper point of view to certain points in history, certain like I never knew about this story until this film came out, and then I was just fascinated by the 54th Massachusetts after that.
You specifically said weeks ago that you wanted to do this specifically for Black History Month.
Black History Month, yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do that, and then it's just you, me, and Nanette,
right? It just would seem unbalanced.
Yeah.
And it would be like Fox News, fair and balanced.
Right.
It's odd. Looking at the chat here, Wolf10 Media's got himself as the 4th thumbs up, and he was. Though I do know for a fact Daniel Herron had posted a post at one point, because I happened to see it when I was poking in one day, getting the link to post on Twitter. So Daniel Herron wins for number 1 post of the week, and the first thumbs up was me. Full disclosure.
That was the second thumbs up.
And you were the second thumbs up. Thank you.
Yay!
And I would like to welcome Sir Torgal Gaines. Sir, welcome. Jedi Masters of Utopia, how are you doing, sir? Netter KC Scott, welcome. Melissa Harris, it's not a chat without Melissa Harris in the house. The aforementioned Daniel Herron, thank you, sir, for joining us. And of course, those I've already mentioned, like Netters, as giving her customary hello and heart to those who join in and say hi. I'd like to welcome everybody who is here. And now I always like to find out, have you guys seen this film before? And
I have not.
You've never seen it? Oh,
nope.
That's cool. You seen it, Troy?
Oh, absolutely. You know, they showed it to us in high school, the obligatory, find a historic film to make it, seem like they're teaching us something. But I've seen it since then, as you guys know, I'm into history and whatnot.
Yeah, you're into history, yeah. And see, I'm going to be interested because I know reading just some of the, just like Wiki and IMDb, some of the historical inaccuracies, which to me are this is the kind of film where you can ignore a lot of that.
I'll be honest, the historical inaccuracies in this film are the kind of things that
they're very minor.
Yes, you really have to dig and really know your stuff. I mean,
like the insignia on
yes
for a colonel, or like his stripes, or like, well, no, they were individually sewn on. They weren't like in a cluster. I'm like, that's all you got, really?
Yeah.
And I know that the battle at the end, the Battle of Fort Wagner, they came up from south to north, not from the north to the south. So they
literally have the ocean on the wrong side.
Yeah, the ocean's on the wrong side, but it's still fantastic.
Yeah,
it's a fantastic, fantastic scene, and there's a lot of great cinematography in this. Of course, we can't forget that the music by the great James Horner. Which is spectacular as well. It's a great film. I never thought, like I said, 1989. It came out, I think, December, and it came out the same. I want to say around the same time as Driving Miss Daisy. It got crushed. Right. It just got crushed. It got crushed. It was right. It was one of those. It was released like in three theaters around the country initially, and then when it went wide release, it like finished 8th, and like other, it just kind of got lost in the mix. Sadly, it was just a fantastic film, and of course, Denzel Washington won the Oscar that year for it, deservedly so. Especially when I read about that one scene, and I'll mention it when I get there. It's like, wow, that makes that scene even more intense, knowing how it was filmed. But like I said, we'll get to that later. Anybody else join in? Not yet. Got 8 watching. That's cool. I'm always very happy. I'm very happy with at least 7 or 8 because the Owl Pals are mighty.
Troy may have seen this in high school, but I've seen it in middle school.
Yeah.
Middle
school.
Yeah, we had, of course, the inner city schools are like predominantly Black and Mexican, so I can't really speak for what our Mexican students were experiencing when they watched this, but we took it in, and we had our own point of view and how we looked at the film. And I guess I'm coming from the generation that actually know our culture deep down inside, as opposed to, you know, our latest generation's point of view on our culture, or at least they believe that we have no culture whatsoever, or they try to pull their culture out, pull the culture card out at their convenience. So
yeah,
I looked to this film sometimes,
no matter what, no matter who you are, it seems like people have got a whole deck of cards they love to pull out at any one time.
You know, Wolfie, you mentioned, you know, what I did actually have a friend in high school in my history class who was Mexican. He leans over to me during Glory and says, "When are they going to show the Alamo?"
I'm going to say Sir Torquay said he saw it in high school, of all places, in a theology class.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I mean, you know, bravo for teachers showing it, because, like I said, it was released after I had left the educational system. I'll say that, you know, being an older man. Now, Wolfie, you said you saw it when you went to school. Where'd you go to school? Like city wise?
Around Compton.
Compton, you know, that's where I'm from. Compton, nice. Maryland.
Oh no,
I'm serious.
The city of Compton.
That is the city. I mean, I know I'm doxing myself a little bit, but you know, come and get me. You'll never, you know, our Compton is just as tough.
Yeah, it was a middle school that I went to when we were staying with my grandma, because it was convenient for me to walk there.
So, because you said Mexican, so I said, okay, it must be Southern California then. Yeah. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's good. It's one of those great films that comes along every once in a while that does such a good job portraying the history, despite its, you know, few flaws here and there. That it really should become something of a standard, you know, to teach, and not just, you know, African American. For African American history. It's just a great film, period, and it's a great story, period. So that I'd like to just start off by saying that. Those of you who are watching, unfortunately, I don't know of any place that it's streaming for free. I think there's like a weird link on YouTube that's kind of sort of got it, but it's
yeah,
it's longer. But it's like it's shown like you're watching it in a classroom,
and they do it that way specifically so that they can say that they've altered it enough.
It was altered enough to beat the thing, but I don't know how it runs. But for those of you who have it, and those of you who are watching on a stream, I'm literally starting at the very beginning. I have it at the 4-second mark. The TriStar Pegasus has yet to leap onto the screen, but there is that sky has formed. That's where I'm at. So if everybody kind of wants to take a few minutes to get there, it hasn't quite leaped on the screen yet. I'm at 4 seconds, so it's not on the screen yet. But
so the horizon.
Okay,
yeah, the light. The screen has started to light, but the horse hasn't come in yet.
Mine is 5 seconds.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Either way works. But I also admitted I chose to do Matthew Broderick's as my avatar because Matthew Broderick has never been one of my favorite actors. He's got some stuff I like. I mean, I like Ferris Bueller, but not because of him, but for other things. I've never been 100% on board Matthew Broderick, but this film, I was like, dang, man, he's. I'm okay with, you know, Matthew. I gotta give him a high five on this one. You know, this one I gain a whole new respect for him.
That's a lot of fish.
The what?
That's a lot of fish.
We mean a lot of fish.
Oh,
you're talking about Ferris Bueller? Oh, yeah.
I was talking about
Godzilla, really good in the
okay.
producers.
Oh, Godzilla. Well, see, that's a big strike against the man. He was in that awful American Godzilla. I mean, now see, man,
Cable guy.
I'm gonna have to like change it to something else. No, I'm just
But I think he did redeem himself in The Producers. He's got a great voice.
He does.
I have not seen The Producers. I just have never gotten around to seeing it.
So wait, Al, you didn't like him as a role of Simba?
Oh, that's right.
He was Simba?
He was Simba.
Well, I'm talking about the physical manifestation
of course
himself. I didn't know he was Simba. I thought it was somebody. No, that was young Simba. That's right. I forgot he played Simba. I'll give him that for Simba. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, but sometimes you get those films where you get an actor that I'm not going to say I dislike the man. I just have never been. Everybody was always, oh, Matthew Broderick. I'm like, Matthew Broderick?
It's like, he's okay.
Yeah, he's all right. But I saw this, I'm like, okay. The same feeling I had with Adam Sandler when I saw Punch Drunk Love. I was like, the man can the man can act. Now I know. This is the first film he ever did that he wasn't playing Happy Gilmore. Or a variation of The Waterboy or something like that. He was himself. And I got a new appreciation for him in 50 First Dates as well. I'm glad that was one of Netter's choices a few weeks back. So that was a good one. So if all of you are ready, is everybody tuned up?
Yep.
We're at 15 after. That's about where we go. So
yeah.
It seems like we give everybody that 15-minute grace period. Okay, starting in glory. Of course, when I say, I will count down from 3, and I'll say play, and that's when everybody will hit play. Hopefully, those who are watching. 3, 2, 1, play. One of the greatest openings.
Right? I mean, there's a certain nostalgia just to this opening.
I mean, it's magnificent. It's beautiful.
You know, we did a rewatch of Dracula Untold last night, and it opens with the Orion opening. And it was like,
another good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a little.
So when does Never Ending Story start playing?
Robert Gould Shaw.
At this point, I don't even bother to comment on the fact that so many of the details of history we know from the letters that people wrote. People don't write letters anymore, you know?
Yeah. Well, who's the guy? I'm getting a weird. Somebody got me on in the background somehow.
I don't think so.
I'll kind of move away from my mic a little bit.
I just thought I heard an echo a little bit. Some of that great music. I think the choir.
My mic.
I think it's what choir did he use for the soundtrack here? The Boys Choir of Harlem. Doing some of the vocalizations on this. Just a beautiful soundtrack. And I think a lot of this was filmed at a reenactment of Gettysburg. A lot of these are like real reenactors who did it for free.
Yeah.
Got to give them credit.
Well, they're probably all sitting there going, okay, here's the right weapon. Here's the right uniform. Don't screw this up.
I mean, those guys are probably better than anything that Hollywood puts together.
Well, I was watching a behind the scenes on the movie Gettysburg, and same thing. They, almost all of the extras were people from all over the country that did reenactments, and they said absolutely, detail you could never get, from scratch. I mean, these people really put their time and energy into it. And we're not just talking, people showing up with uniforms and sidearms. Some of them showed up with cannons.
Oh, yeah.
And that's far better than just any extra you get off the street. These guys know their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, everything they've got's period. Those glasses are probably period. If that, you know.
Yeah.
But of course, this scene is prior to what they're going to show is the Battle of Antietam in Maryland, which is the bloodiest single day of the Civil War. And it happened in my state. Not exactly something to be proud of, but you know.
But it is interesting that you can lay claim to something from history. You can go there and know this historic event happened here. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've always loved visiting because we down where I live we have St. Mary's City, which is was a colonial. Was actually the capital of Maryland for a short period. There's a colonial reconstruction going on down there.
Let's blow up some trees.
Yeah, well, this is when you still had old style tactics with modern weaponry. You know, you form a line and you charge in a straight line for everyone to shoot you.
Same tactic was employed during the Revolutionary War.
Oh yeah, and they never really quite broke out of it. I mean, and this is really it was probably the Civil War that really kind of started the rethinking of warfare like that, because the weapons were different. Your guns just weren't something you like loaded, shoot, reload, shoot, reload. Ow!
Yikes!
Wow! I forgot about the head blowing up like that. That was cool.
Yep.
And we were 13-year-olds, version on 14-year-olds seeing this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised they didn't. Because I know a lot of times that they'll take a film like this that might have some bloodier elements and trim it for like educational purposes.
I don't.
No, we saw the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't honestly remember if it was edited or not the first time I saw it, but I know for a fact that my mom had no problem with me seeing a film like this because she said, look, as bad as they might show it, it's never as bad as it really is. You need to understand how bad war is.
Yeah.
Oh, I understood it fully when I watched Saving Private Ryan.
Yes. Oh, that opening scene, that is just tough. I saw it in a theater, and as I looked down the rows of people watching it, you could tell there were some men that served over there, some older guys, and you could tell. Oh
yeah.
Enemy at the gates. That's another one. Enemy at the gates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of. Okay, because I remember seeing Saving Private Ryan and just was like, oh my god.
It's like, right, I survived. Now I'm gonna get killed.
Right.
Hey.
Hello.
Because he was wounded in the throat, I believe. That is a grim duty to perform, too. Yeah. Cleaning up a battlefield like that.
A role was given to FELTs in 300 that he refused.
Yeah.
Oh, but, Matthew Broderick?
No. He was saying FELTs in the 300. The character was offered the role because he wanted to participate, and he refused it because it wasn't the role he wanted. It's like, look, everybody has a role to play,
right?
You know?
What you do is you take a role, you make it yours,
right?
Like a janitor.
Somebody has to do it, you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm trying to think of some of the ones that have like turned down roles and just kicked themselves later for it.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a bunch out there. I read them. I just can't think of any at the moment.
So I'm not going to go into details, but a lot of the characters in this movie are what you'd consider to be composite characters.
Right.
You know, they don't represent a specific person from history. They represent a number of people. And
right.
I personally am not going to point to that as a inaccuracy. It's part of the storytelling that I'm okay with.
Yeah, of course, his character. I mean, Robert Gould Shaw right. was a real person.
Absolutely, that's one of the exceptions. Well, obviously, because it's told mostly from his point of view.
I like how he's talking to him while he's fixing him up.
And you see who that is, right? See who it is, Troy?
No,
I can see a nose.
Yeah,
it's Neelix.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
I should have been able to tell by the nose.
What's his name? Billingsley?
No, it's
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I confusing him with Phlox? I do that sometimes.
Yeah, it's I can't think of his name. I've met the man. I can't think of his name. But yeah, he's just got a very small role in this. But you just that voice, you know, you can just tell that voice.
Ethan Phillips.
Ethan Phillips, thank you. Yeah.
It's like I had his name on the tip of my tongue, and then you said something and it went right out of my head. Now, was he the only one from his regiment or whatever that survived?
I don't think so. I don't think they really say that one way or another. I mean, he was lucky to live, but I mean, when you see someone like that, he came back in much better condition than a lot of other guys did.
True. And I think he's just reflecting on that too.
Andre Bauer.
Yep. Well, this was his first movie role.
He was in the sequel to Fantastic Four. That's the General.
So what year was this supposed to be?
The film or when they made the film?
The film itself, like the setting.
Oh, the setting is 82, I believe. 82, 83. I mean, 62, 63, sorry.
Well, yeah, because we are covering a span of time from between one battle and the next. So
yeah, it's a progression.
I mean, the Battle of Antietam was 62.
Yeah, September of 62. And it was later this year and into the next that they would start the. I actually think it was actually more the following year when it was the 54th kind of came into existence.
Does anyone know who the actor is that's playing Frederick Douglass?
Daryl Lindo. Looks like it.
Oh my gosh, he looks just like he came out of that
I know
picture, you know.
A male role model I look up to as well, Frederick Douglass.
Yeah, Frederick Douglass. I need to know more about him, but what I do know about him, he's an outstanding man.
Lawrence Fishburne in the background.
Like I said, Jane Alexander, who was meant to have a larger role, but just all her stuff got cut.
I love the dresses the women are wearing.
All those big.
Yeah, but those huge hoops. I mean, that's challenging, and we know it.
It's period appropriate.
Hello, Evelyn.
Oh,
Hi,
Evelyn
Evelyn.
Hampton. Hello. Anyone needs a timestamp at 13:08, 09, 10.
Oh, 10.
010. I almost said 010. I tried to hide it, but thank you for pointing out my mistake.
I was not going to let that go. No. Your thumbnail is just on screen.
Yes, I see him. He looked more blonde in the thumbnail.
Where does these two didn't exactly get along the best?
I can't tell if my avatar's hair is just wet or seriously dirty.
Well, back then, probably a little of both.
Yeah, exactly.
Ew.
I was just thinking that too.
Or got like, some kind of something in it.
A pomade. It would look much neater with a pomade.
Melissa Harris wants to know, if I had a time machine, what time period would you visit? Loaded question. Because there's like several different answers. And it depends on, I have a few jokey answers too.
Matthew Broderick just asked him to join his regiment or whatever. He goes, I would be honored. I expected my avatar to go, as you wish.
As you wish. But if we're talking hit, God, where would I? If I had a time machine, I could only visit one place.
I go to Vikings era and teach them how to write.
Well, the big problem, I mean, there's a lot of, things that I'd need to know. Like, for example, am I going back in a method that would give me some sort of a universal translator? If not, I'm very limited how far back I can go and still understand the language.
Yeah, it's like, are you going back? Is your time machine a TARDIS that will make everybody understand you? Exactly. Like, I would love to go back to the Viking area. I would love to see the Battle of Hastings, 1066. I would love to have dinner with Henry VIII. Like one of those big, huge spreads.
I would love to figure out how the Royal Oak disappeared.
But in seriousness, another place I'd go, early 70s, to a grocery store to get some of the snacks they don't make anymore.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Like pizza wheels and chipsters. I used to love those things, and they don't make them anymore.
Man,
I go back to 1977 and watch Star Wars on the big screen again.
Yeah.
I'll find me an arcade spot to play the ping pong machines, the pinball machines.
Now, do any of these guys get uniforms?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually they do. In the film, they make kind of a big deal out of it. From what I read, though, historically, they got their uniforms and shoes exactly as everyone else did.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm seeing barefoot people.
Yeah.
A goat.
And also, none of them were former slaves. They were all freemen, educated. There was one of them was a doctor who enlisted. So they weren't like, they didn't take slaves and make them, escape slaves and make them a unit.
Right.
That was the rule, right?
I don't know if it was so much a rule. It might have been. I think you may have had to be a free man to do it.
kind of froze there when I heard that word.
Yeah, I would imagine.
What now? What?
One of them used the N word.
Yeah, they dropped the N word,
yeah.
but you almost expect it, you know.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's one of those knee-jerk moments that I had just now. Obviously.
But even from a filmmaking point of view, that is an intentional thing, right? It should be visceral. It evokes exactly the kind of animosities and angers that existed.
Yeah, I mean, it shows the kind of attitude that certain people had towards
and it's crucially important to underscore that, you know, as this film progresses, there are some universal truths about war, and so at certain points, color no longer matters when you're both getting shot at. You know,
here's something interesting. The fellow with the glasses was talking to the other guy that's there, and he's like, "Well, I'll teach you how to read." The glasses guy said to the other one. And the guy goes, "Listen here, snowflake. I don't need nothing from you." So apparently, that phrase has been around for a while.
Yeah.
It's a slur that they use for educated black men.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yep.
In other words, they were saying, "You're white."
Yeah, and I think it was also used in Remember the Titans, another Denzel movie.
It just seemed weird to hear the phrase snowflake.
Yeah,
that's why it was used. Obviously, it was used for in Full Metal Jacket. Well, he called him Snowball actually, but I'm pretty sure it was a turn of phrase for snowflake.
Yeah.
And now it means somebody overly sensitive.
Yep.
Now Denzel, I will say Denzel does a fantastic job, but there's no way a guy with that attitude would have done very well in an actual enlistment situation.
Well, this is
but
true.
I know why. But you get why they do. Why his character's there.
It's true in every war movie. You need to learn that you basically need to have your character broken down so that you can learn you're just a grunt with all the rest. Yeah. You know,
you need that one guy whose journey who has a huge character arc.
Yeah,
and his is one. He, like Morgan Freeman, he's an honorable guy straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Trip, he takes a while. He comes from a much deeper, darker, emotional place to become more heroic.
Is he the one who said he ran for president but didn't win?
Yeah, Denzel's Trip.
Denzel. I couldn't remember which actor that was.
I mean, he's so young, I barely recognize him.
He was a good-looking dude, though.
Who, Denzel?
Oh, yeah.
Still is. I would not look like Denzel.
He's going with some movies coming up. I know that.
He's like the mean Irish guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Scottish, or I forget what he is.
He's like a Civil War era Arlie Ermy.
War movies, those
steers and queers.
That would have been what a great casting that would have been if they could have gotten him at the time. to bring him in there and have him do it, like give him a big like Civil War like mutton chops, or something. Yeah, Irish. That's boyo. Boyo is such an Irish term.
Yep.
I was in JROTC in high school.
Were you really?
I am. Yep. What branch?
I wouldn't know. Our schools were so mishmash.
Because the high school that I worked at, we had Air Force was our ROTC.
I guess we were Army.
Your Army, because I think there was like a different there's a different branch at each high school. Like one had, I think there was one Navy, one Army, and then we were Air Force, I think.
Oh, Evelyn says she can't stay tonight, but she gave us a like.
Oh, thank you, Evelyn.
And to let her know what the next movie is. The next movie will be Artificial Intelligence next week on my channel.
And after that, my next movie will be The Quiet Man with John Wayne.
Ooh.
Love that movie. That will be my St. Patrick's Day viewing this year. And after that, I've decided let's go ahead and do King Kong versus Godzilla, the original 1960s.
You keep this up, I don't know how to call you Calendar Man.
Call me what, man?
Calendar Man.
Oh, Calendar Man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I planned them out. I just because I had a bunch I wanted to do, so I just plug them in as I go.
Mine, I'm going alphabetically across all our movies.
I go from the gut. But I am scheduled through May.
Oh my goodness, I was looking all over the place when I heard that ring. The movie tricked me, yeah.
The what?
The movie tricked me. I'm looking around, seeing if it was rain outside.
That's funny.
I just have sensitive ears, and I pick up minute sounds outside. So I'm like a dog when I pick up something.
Yeah.
I just cock my head. I'm like, is that? Oh, it's the movie.
It's like, ooh, that was thunder. Is it thundering? Oh no, wait, that's the movie. My mother will do that. Like the phone will ring on the television, and she's like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "It was TV." Oh, because she's like halfway asleep.
So I've heard a number of historians, and I'm not sure I have any strong opinions on this one or any other, but a lot of historians have commented on this and pointed out that if you were a black man serving in the federal army and you were told, if the Southerners take you, they will either make you a slave or summarily kill you if you're in uniform, isn't that just going to make you fight harder? A lot of historians.
Oh yeah, it'll piss you off.
Well, not only that, it'll scare you. I mean,
it will scare you, but it'll piss.
Right?
I mean, that's what the South wanted, but of course, this film, I'm sure they lost a few in real life that just was like, no, I don't want to deal with that. But a lot, I mean.
No. What I meant was it would cause them fear in that I'm going into this battle and there is no way they're taking me alive.
Oh yeah.
So they fight all the harder. And a lot of historians believe, although they can't point to any statistics to demonstrate it, that that's probably what actually happened. So it was a poor strategy on the South's part.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because that strengthened my resolve when I heard that.
Right?
And I love this. This is so medieval.
Mm-hmm.
Walking with a pike. or a spear. I think it's just so cool.
Guard duty?
Yeah.
Yeah, guard duty with a spear. I mean, I've done it at medieval fairs. I've been a guard for a certain area.
But for the time period, it's not that out of place because what are you gonna stand duty with? You can have your muzzle loader, but you get one shot and then you're going with a bayonet anyway.
Let's appreciate this music.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, James Horner is
using me a trailer too.
Yeah.
And Matthew Broderick asked, how many are left? And he sees all these guys. So I guess none of them left.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I like that he sees Cary Elwes' character smile.
Yeah.
And then he looks around and they're all still there.
That's probably me if I was in that time period.
Yes, because kicking him was going to make him get up.
Yeah, it was. There's a lot of counterintuitiveness. Mm-hmm. You need to be tough. I mean, like he says, it's like you can't baby these guys at all. They have to be tough, and they have to be tougher than any others because of what they're going to have to go through.
Yeah.
And see, like I said, you initially don't like the guy, but that line makes you respect him. It's like, he's got a purpose. He's not doing this because, I'm white, you're black. He's doing it as like, I'm trying to make you a soldier.
Yeah. Well, not only that, I mean, I think that Clint Eastwood puts it really well in Heartbreak Ridge. He's doing it because you're going into combat, and if you're not ready, you get dead.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the best chance at survival.
Yeah, I think this was one mistake they made. He says it's a 57 caliber, and I think it was a 5.77. I read, or something like that.
To quote Sylvester Stallone from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, do you think I take pleasure in doing this? You're wrong. I don't.
Yeah. Just the way it needs to be.
Yeah, why give them weapons if they're not going to fight?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Acting like children in the playground.
Yeah.
the one guy used like a bow,
like
a bow and arrow.
Yeah. But the fact is, if you ever see, a comparable war movie, a bunch of kids, showing up for the first time, they're not taking it seriously. Their first battle, they realize this shit's real. Talk about doing some sudden growing up.
I love this. This is a cool scene.
Apparently, he's a good shot.
Yeah, but
that boy can hit.
He can hit, but can he reload? I like that's what he's about to learn.
Yeah.
Pressure under. I mean, it's a good tactic. Pressure under. I mean, firing under pressure like that.
My class observed this scene and understood what the context was.
Did or didn't?
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's just one gun going off. Now you add tons of rifles, cannon fire, and hundreds of guys whooping the rebel yell. That's a whole different scenario. You better be ready to fire. Reload, fire. Reload, fire. Oh no, go ahead.
No, I'm speaking because we were a generation where we understood our culture. We actually paid attention to some degree, if you will. At least I was one of the few that did.
Yeah.
And how exciting was it for the black kids to learn that there was actually a military armament full of black folk fighting for their freedom? They don't put that part in the stories, do they, in history class these days?
No, and they should. I mean, there are certain moments that transcend, no matter what race, creed, nationality you are, and this is one of them. You know, the 54th Massachusetts, what they had to do and what they went up against at the time, it took a lot of testicular fortitude, as mankind used to say.
Hello there, Matthew Flynn.
Hello, Matthew Flynn. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Matthew.
I love those little turned up hats with the feather.
Okay, I wouldn't have chosen that guy for my avatar if I knew he's such a jerk.
Oh, he's not a jerk. He really isn't. He's just got a different viewpoint.
He's all in the fifis.
Otherwise, it'll just get dead.
Yeah, right. I was just thinking that too. What happens if we send them into combat? They ain't ready. They just get dead.
You know what's kind of spooky is you've seen pictures of the real Robert Gould Shaw. Gould Shaw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
How much he looks like him.
Was he that short too?
I don't know, but he definitely has the right look.
Come on, stop trying to hit me and hit me. I am with my nephews.
He's kind of right.
I imagine that being my nephew saying that.
Yeah.
He'd be killing with those smiles, man.
Like I said, someone like Tripp would not have lasted a real regiment. You wouldn't
Right.
have.
I gotta step away for a minute. I'll be back.
That's the one thing. I've seen many a butthead go into the Army and come out men. They will break you down.
Let's get down to business, to the heat.
The Rebs.
Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons?
I feel so bad for that guy because it's like he really wanted to fight,
Yeah.
but now he's finding he's not good at it.
Yeah, he's just that's just not. He wants to be better than he is. At least he wants to at least be adequate.
And he's finding out that all his book learning ain't helping him any.
No, it's not.
What's a swell? They keep referring to one of the guys training him as a swell.
I don't know.
I think that's their way of saying he might fold or something like that.
Well, the guy's talking was like, well, you know, if they
'Cause
come
he
to
was-
get us, you know, they're going to take him too. And they're like, no, they won't take him. He's a swell.
Probably maybe comes from money or something.
No, maybe.
He's been well off, raised well. Well, let me see if I can find it. Cause that's a good thing. I like it'd be a cool term to find out.
I thought for sure he was going to take the hat off his face and find out he was dead.
I thought he was going to cry.
Oh yeah, okay. Archaic term: an impressive, pompous, or fashionable air or display. A person dressed in the height of fashion, a person of high social position or outstanding competence.
Oh, we used to call them dandies.
Yeah, dandy. it would probably very much the same thing. Sir Torrin Clegane did a report on Shaw for history class. Wasn't the only one who did, but I was the only one to pronounce Colonel correctly. Would they say Colonel?
I used to read it in my head like that.
Just do what?
I used to read Colonel that way. Colonel.
Colonel.
Only in my head though. Never pronounced it orally like that.
Looks like there's a company I worked for where one of the people that called in that I was talking to, his name was Joaquin. Only we were talking through email, so I'd only seen his name printed out, not pronounced. So I went to my boss and I was letting her know the update of what was going on. I said, yeah, I talked to Joachim and he said blah, blah, blah. She's like, who? I said, Joachim. And she's like, spell that. So I spelled it. And she goes, and she starts cracking up. She goes, that's Joaquin. And I was sitting there looking at her like, okay, I'm a white girl. I don't know that.
I remember when I was in high school and there was a word. You know, sometimes you just come across a word for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
The word, and I pronounced it as ridicule.
Ridicule. Okay.
Ridicule. And I just, for some reason, I saw and thought ridicule. And I just didn't know what the word was. I mean, I knew what ridicule was, but I just didn't know how it was spelled.
There's a girl I grew up with. She could not pronounce Connecticut. She kept saying Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Nice. They pronounced my name Scene.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I had a friend in college named Sean, and sorry if I I'm sure people know what your real name is, but they would call him Scene as well.
Or Sheen.
I've heard pronounced Cian.
Oh,
S-E-A-N. So C-N.
Yeah. He eventually got a great nickname when he got because he was in my medieval group, and he got an old Phrygian style hat. And if you know, it's like a hat, but it's got like this little bulbous thing on top that kind of overhangs. It looks like a chicken. Everybody called him Chicken Hat. So he was like, "Hey, Chicken Hat," and that kind of became his.
I can tell you, Mapache, I heard that plenty of times from me and my Filipino co-workers. And I smile every time I hear it.
Oh, it's Cian?
Cian.
Oh, Cian.
Mm-hmm.
Our church just got a new pastor, and he's Philippine. He's from the Philippines. We just met him this week. Great guy.
Sir Torrance said at Big L, yes, they did. The teacher and I both ended up giving each other looks and screamed, "Did you hear that?" Yes, you did.
Because there are some that say colonel, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it?
It's kind of like a French pronunciation.
Yeah, it's like a weird thing, but for some reason when you say colonel, when it's spelled that way, the English language is so funny.
Well, it's like if you ever seen Hogan's Heroes, the little French guy would always say colonel, always. Oh, Matthew Flint says that he's currently working on a Transformers G1 continuation of the fan fiction book. Cool.
So you guys are all talking about colonel. You're not talking about the pronunciation of lieutenant?
Oh, yeah, lieutenant.
I heard that from a game.
Every day we're shuffling.
Shuffling, yeah.
Yep, and this is the guy who wanted to go get some food down at the farm.
They see me shuffling, they hating, take over, and they trying to catch me riding dirty.
Now, this is a scene that I mentioned earlier about the acting or keeping a scene going.
Yeah.
Because of course, what's about to happen is, and they did not do this.
Right. They stopped floggings in 1861.
Yeah, this was not a thing, but it was done for dramatic effect. But the way they filmed the scene, they had a special whip made that wouldn't cut him, but it still kind of stung,
Sure.
And Denzel was, let's get this done. He stood there and took it, and the director went longer. He didn't say cut when he thought he would.
Mm-hmm.
He let it go on, and he kept the camera on his face.
Yeah.
And if you know how the last part of it, if he had cut when he had initially thought, he would have never gotten the look
right
on Denzel's face as he undergoes this.
He just looks annoyed.
Well, clearly he's been through this before, so.
Mm-hmm. And see, he was going to cut it at about this point.
Yeah.
And he got that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I could see you winning an award for that performance.
I mean, that something like that will get you an Academy Award. A single tear at the perfect time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it may not be the reason he won the award, but I'll tell you one thing: it's the scene that the people talk about.
Yeah.
No, that's discipline right there. Now here's where the context come in.
Casey Scott saying, whip it good.
Oh, gosh.
No Devo here. God, it's just so.
Yeah.
Then socks would help with those shoes.
Right.
Yep.
Now, if you've ever
like
worn
it.
shoes without socks, you know how uncomfortable it is.
And I love that he brought those guys with him as kind of his little guard, his bodyguards.
Mm-hmm. Should play a Shaft theme song in the background. That's an insubordination, son.
I like that. You can't I?
I love this. Smile.
Hey, you barefoot man, come over here.
Playing go around, playing around.
I tell you, that's how you get respect of your men too. When you fight for them,
Make sure
they'll
they
die for
fit.
you.
Again, this has nothing to do with the color of skin. This is
Nope.
just human nature.
Human nature, human respect.
This is one of the primary lessons you learn in leadership, you know?
Honor and integrity.
Looks like they poured wax over his back.
Oh, wait a minute. That's a lot of money back then.
We get paid.
Well, we get $10 for nothing.
Right. I'm not doing this for nothing.
Don't need to be rude about it.
Well, yeah, it was you know.
Yeah, that made me cock my head a bit, like Morgan Freeman did just now when I heard that.
Yeah, I know. It does. And it should. To anybody, it should.
Yeah, anybody. Like, I don't like the way you tone there, boy. Tear it up. Tear it up.
What are they tearing up?
They want to be paid more.
Yeah, they want to be paid the right amount.
Right, but what are they tearing up?
The checks. The amount of money that they're giving.
Like a pay voucher kind of thing.
Merry Christmas.
Yep. And this is what he wanted.
There's your uniform.
Yep.
I wore my uniform on my way home to my dad's house when I left school. When I was in ROTC.
Yeah.
And he had this smile on his face when he stepped outside seeing me. I still remember that.
Did it help with the chicks?
Not really. Truth be told, the only reason why I went for JRTC because I didn't want to go through PE again. I hated PE, but then it made me think a different way. I started to respect the military more. Had a bit of a fascination too, to boot.
Yeah, I think it's a good program. I like I knew the officers that were there. Well, one officer, one I think it was a staff sergeant or something. I forgot exactly what, you know. That's a great scene. Because it means a lot to those soldiers to have people admire them like that.
And they're looking pretty sharp in those uniforms.
Yeah, they are. I always liked Civil War uniforms like that. I wouldn't want to wear it because it'd be itchy as anything.
Oh yeah, they're all wool.
Yeah, especially down south. Oh my goodness.
Look at them little boys. Thank you, Mapacelli.
And Sergeant Major is a good rank to me too.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly how you feel.
You have no idea how I feel, Al. Got this rank on me. Now the boys gonna look at me funny. Oh my goodness, this takes me back to the theater when every time the kids see me, because I'm like kind of like a celebrity, and they'll be like, "Where's Wolf Ted? Where's Wolf Ted?" Because I interact with the families a lot.
I think one of those kids had a digital watch on.
Oh wow!
Oh gosh!
I think it's one of the blue. Yeah, there was. I read some of the bloopers, and there's a couple of points where like people are wearing watches. It happens.
You know, you got a tight schedule every day.
It's Lord of the Rings. There's Lord of the Rings has it too.
Yep.
I think there's a car somewhere too in Lord of the Rings. I know there's one in Ben-Hur somewhere.
I can imagine.
Oh, the ones I always think it's funny is when an airplane goes overhead and there's not supposed to be any airplanes.
Right.
I think they're supposed to be Haitian.
Hey, he does have a Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounded Jamaican.
Yeah.
Hey, he should not be having that haircut.
What? I didn't see what you were talking about.
He got a line in his hair. There ain't no haircut like that back then.
Oh.
Yep.
A little part.
There we go, and then I see right there. I was like, wait a minute, he ain't supposed to have that haircut. That's hip. That's too hip for a haircut right there. Unless you have a scar, then I'll let it go, but didn't see no scar.
I like those little cigar. What do they call cigarellos?
Cigarillos.
Cigarillos.
Mm-hmm.
I say cigarello because I have a hard time getting my in there. just, just like when someone doesn't know, it's like I was like, what's a fajita?
A fajita.
It's like it's how you measure a tornado.
It's a Mexican gyro.
Yeah.
From the weave community, that's a saying, and it means vegetable.
Ah.
A lot of Dragon Ball Z characters have vegetable-like names.
Oh, Vegeta, yeah, Vegeta.
Kakarot, carrot. Nappa is onion.
Piccolo, pickle.
Mm-hmm. I guess Toriyama was always a constantly hungry dude. Makes you wonder, did that man eat between writing the manga?
I mean, but God, can you imagine 100-degree heat, all that wool, marching miles upon miles?
Yeah. Although, in fairness, it was a day when, you on an average day, you did a lot more walking than we do today.
Yeah, well, like as they were acclimated.
Yep, they were made a lot of tough. They were made of tougher stuff back then.
Going back to JRTC, my feet cooked in one day.
Yeah,
because we were in direct sunlight. Yeah, and we were holding a position, and all of us was complaining about our feet burning.
Were you on asphalt?
No, we were on the stairs at our school, and
okay.
Like I said, it was just direct sunlight just pointing directly on us, and our feet was the first to cook.
I will say I like his hat. It'd be a nice hat on a sunny day.
The ones in the backgrounds are the stereotypes. The ones that are standing at attention, those are the appropriate characterizations here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. And
that's how I know the difference.
This is the biggest lack of discipline.
Oh, yeah.
You don't waste ammunition when you're in the field like that. This is just ridiculous.
Calling them monkeys. That doesn't look good.
Nope.
That's a boy. That's not a man.
Yeah, I was looking up that guy, Colonel James Montgomery, Jayhawker during the Bleeding Kansas era, controversial Union colonel. Used extreme measures against pro-slavery populations. So, yep, that's what he did.
That is Gina Carano moment.
So it's the guy Matthew Broderick. Is he really higher ranking than him?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're different levels. Yeah.
And these people did nothing to deserve this.
Nope.
Nope, they just happen to live in the South.
Yep.
Yeah, but it reminds me of all the loot and stuff that happened downtown Chicago.
It reminds me of what happens online now.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
voted for the wrong person, you deserve to lose your job and your house and, you know, be put out into the street.
Your grandma got COVID? Well, I hope she dies.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because I chose to vote for Trump.
Also, like someone burning down an Asian business because the illness originated in that area. Just looking. I mean, the line from Dark Knight. Some men just want to watch the world burn. Ooh, that is a mighty beard.
Yep.
I will say I finally got around to shaving today. I don't know if I had a really big fuzzy full beard up until this afternoon. Now I'm high and tight, Big Al again. Just got my little goatee thing. Snowflake again.
Yeah.
He's always smiling every time he looks upset. That's a Denzel thing. He really does that in John Q and the Hurricane.
It's a soldier's fight.
Yep.
That'll give him some respect.
Here comes my favorite scene. This still happens today.
Ooh, something getting chopped.
That's my wife.
Like.
That's my wife in the background. I'm sorry, guys.
Is she cooking something or?
She's preparing things.
Ooh,
in case.
Like what?
I don't know. Usually she chops up.
Food.
Sounds like a celery, I think.
Oh,
what you chopping back there? What you chopping back there?
Huh?
What are you chopping?
Oh yeah, I'm making chicken noodle soup.
She's making chicken noodle soup. She's cutting up onions.
Ooh. The professor's foul enemy.
Well, he could
Onions
take.
are good.
That's
He
more
could
for
take.
me.
He could take great pleasure in hearing them chopping once he catch the backwatch of this.
That's
Slap.
right.
Well, oof.
I want Morgan Freeman to narrate my life.
Right? After George Burns, I don't think anyone else could play God as well.
Oh yeah, I mean that's this generation's God. No one else could do it.
Right?
It's been several times you guys heard my wife in the background, Matthew Flynn. It's just subtle.
You got a good woman there. She's chopping onions. Now, does she use garlic too? I mean,
Yeah,
not
she does.
necessarily in soup, but
Well, the other day, I think it was last night on the Fan Man show, Santa Graver said she was cooking, and we were like, "Well, what you cooking? Got to let us know. You just can't leave it at that."
Hey, Troy.
I mean, I see the tobacco, and it's like, oh, that does look tasty.
Never been. Do you smoke?
I haven't for many, many years. I used to be a pipe smoker.
I've never smoked. I like the pipe paraphernalia, like pipes and that kind of thing. I would love to have like a wizard's pipe, or there's a couple of companies like McQueen Pipes and Floggerworks make those like Middle Earth type pipes. Like you play the little what are they called? Not a harpsichord. I forgot what they were called. It's like a piano. It's a piano forte. That's it. Piano forte.
They always say Morgan Freeman's like the only man that don't swear in movies. I beg to differ. There's been many times he swore in movies.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a couple of movies that he swears in.
To this day, I still think that he was robbed of the Oscar for driving Miss Daisy.
Who won it?
I forget, but he should have. Jessica Tandy won, but he did not win.
The only thing I remember driving Miss Daisy was Martin Lawrence's joke about it. Oh, come on now, Miss Daisy. I'm trying to drive you to the stove.
It's a beautiful movie.
I gotta check it out myself one of these days.
Oh, you've never seen it?
Only
Yeah,
bits.
it's a beautiful movie. Just great performances, and Dan Aykroyd really giving a great performance too. All of them. It's an acting tour de force.
He doesn't get on up. Dan Aykroyd. Sharon Bolton movie where he was James Brown.
James Island, South Carolina.
That's my roommate in the background if you heard any moaning. He's sleeping.
Oh, those poor horses.
What's impressive is when filming movies like this, those horses are actually trained to do that.
Yeah.
Reload.
Yeah. You don't want to take too much time to reload.
Yep. Here comes the infantry. Ooh, face shot.
Quick one too.
And this is where, the whole reload comes in. Remember when I was telling you to do it faster?
Yeah.
This is why.
This is why you've been training.
No, I'm panicking either. Get ready.
Reload.
Yeah, do not pause.
There's no pause in war.
I tell you, once I got repeating rifles coming in, the South was like, they got guns, they can start shooting on Sunday and don't need to reload till Saturday or something like that.
Yeah, this is pretty much how it was.
And this is where
hopefully they're talking about bayoneting.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is where it gets brutal.
We're practicing on the sandbags.
Ow. I felt that in my kidney.
Yeah.
I thought I shot him in the butt.
I think someone do get shot in the butt in this scene.
Yep. This is why they taught you.
Yep.
Boom.
Now reload again, faster.
Right.
Or bludgeon his head. Oh, he's got a sack in his chest. That magically appeared.
Well, they were in the woods.
I think that was an act of God, though.
Wow.
That snowflake just saved your life.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. When you finally get down to battle, whatever your issues were before.
Yep.
Completely eroded.
I'm sorry, somebody's shooting at me. I wouldn't just be meandering to the back there. I'd be running full sprint. These guys are just shuffling along, leaving the scene.
Nice boots.
I would imagine.
I trust that scratch won't slow you down.
That guy's on stilts.
Yeah. Every time I hear like music like this, reminds me of the Ken Burns series, which I do have on my computer.
They just mentioned Gettysburg.
So 42.
Yes, but 42 them or 42 us?
I think they lost 42. That is an honor.
Mm-hmm.
Carrying your regimental colors. It also puts you gives you a bullseye too.
True.
I'm trying to remember what the 54th colors were. I think it was like a U.S. flag with just 54th Massachusetts written on it.
Now, what you racing off to?
That's what I was like, sounds like someone putting down the gas.
I'm sorry, guys. There's so much noise.
Yeah.
It's always a busy area, even though we don't do much around here. So much activity, so little time. One of these days, I'm gonna move and have a sound room.
You do like Sound Engraver does, have this foam things on the wall.
Yeah.
You know, it does a lot to change your attitude when someone saves your life like that.
Yeah.
Especially someone that you've pretty much been busting his chops for months. A mighty mustache. It's like the actor J.O. Saunders. And a great name, General Strong.
Yeah.
It didn't really happen this way. That's
Right.
one of the historical things, but it make, makes for a good dramatic moment.
I know it's late to ask this, but what are you sipping on?
Lemonade.
Yeah, I've just been drinking water tonight. I kind of overindulged last night, so had to take it easy.
Oh boy, I think I was there for that, right?
Yeah, you were.
I thought of you. I don't know if it was earlier today or yesterday. I was because I follow Kraken on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a little thing. It's like if you had to give us a slogan, and just making up people making up slogans. I think mine was "Black and Mold, a rum to behold" or something like that.
Nice.
La la la. Oh my Lord.
Sing it, Wolfie. You can give Thomas his character credit. The man took a shot, and he's still standing there.
Yep.
Now, see, I've had subtitles through all this except for the song.
Man's on the verge of crying. I love it. Oh Lord, Lord, Lord. Oh my Lord. I'm sorry. This is just resonating with me.
It's a great scene. I mean, it really is. No, sing. I was like, I'd sing with you, but I don't think nobody wants that.
You can clap. Now, why couldn't you run for president, Morgan?
Because he's too smart.
That's true.
I'm waiting for Dwayne Johnson to actually run.
Think it'd be a good one?
He's talked about it. Have you seen Young Rock? His TV show?
Oh no.
It's I think this past week was its second week. It's a fun show. The premise is it's 2032 and he's running for president and he's reflecting on his life during an interview, and they've got like a young kid playing like a 10-year-old version. They have a high school version and then a college version, and they just have different little comedic moments.
Oh my Lord, 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 Lord.
I have no rhythm. I just figured that out. Well, I shouldn't clap too loud the way my mom's trying to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, that's so me right there. When you put me on a spot like that.
Yeah.
Actually, this was me at my friend's wedding. I was best man, and I had to do that, that speech.
Yeah, I did do that too. But thankfully, it was just like about like 6 or 7 people at the time.
Oh no, I was unlucky on that one.
You had like a big, huge wedding.
Yes. Oh yes.
I've always said I've always wanted to be a best man, which I've been. I always wanted to be a proper godfather to a child, and that's why I am so keen on calling the professor my godchild. Technically, I'm not, but I was joking about it with my priest the other day, and he says, "Well, you're not, kinda." I was like, "Thank you." I'm going to tell him that too.
I'm sure he appreciates it. Lord, 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 Lord. Oh my Lord, 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 Lord. Oh, well. So that's how you keep rhythm right there, Al. Mm-hmm. If you lose your rhythm, you clap twice, and then you get back on it.
That.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like laying here, like I said,
yeah.
I'm trying not to make too many sound. Bad enough I'm like sitting here talking when my mom's sleeping.
And here it comes.
One more back to James Horner's music. That horn. It's got such a somber quality because you kind of get an idea what's coming.
Mm-hmm. It's like the Charge of the Light Brigade.
Yeah. Except this wasn't bureaucratic idiocy setting them in. This was a sincere attempt to try to take this place.
Mm-hmm. I mean, really, you could say it's not great tactics, but it's the best they could do with a really bad situation.
I mean, it is, and like the general said straight up, it's like the guys going in there, you can expect a huge amount of losses. Yeah, there's a lot of casualties.
Actually, a better analogy would be to the storming of Normandy. I mean,
oh yeah,
until
exactly.
you get past that bulkhead, it's really, really bad. And there just really wasn't any other option. Actually, less options here, because at least in World War II, you can send in paratroopers on the other side. That wasn't an option here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can see their flag that's got the writing on it.
To left, to left, to left, right.
Those boys are back, but with a different attitude. Give hell.
And the guy who says that is the writer.
Yep. Oh, is it?
Kevin Jarre. He's the guy who says give him hell 60, give him hell 54. That is, of course, if IMDb is to be believed.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, why not?
Can't tell you how many typos I've read on certain articles in that site.
Oh, Sir Torgagan says Daniel Day-Lewis won for My Left Foot that year. Thank you.
Oh.
I just saw that. It's been up there a while, but I just noticed it. And you see, that's when like the Oscars would give awards to like people playing like some physical or mental issue.
You gotta admire that respect there.
Right.
Yeah. Take a moment to enjoy the beauty.
No turning back now. You should have took this stuff off me first.
Nah, he's an army horse. He'll find his way back. That's an impressive sight. All of them lined up in a column like that.
No CGI here, folks.
Yeah. Why couldn't they have done this?
That one guy
Dunkirk?
missed his cue. He just standing there looking really dull. And then when Matthew Broderick kind of nudged him, he was like, "Oh yeah, 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 yeah."
That's a wide hat. Like one guy's got.
Yeah.
That's right. Salute when you have the firearm that way.
Mm-hmm.
I was taught that too in ROTC. I was also rifle team, but I didn't participate enough in that front.
And here we go.
Hey, Match, by the way. He's been there for.
Hey, Mr. Matchstick.
Hey, Mr. Matchstick.
Good old days when your leader actually led you into battle.
Right.
Which means he's going to be the first one to die since he's the first one.
Yeah, well, there's a drawback.
EX House, the movie.
Double quick time.
Mr. Magic, we're still in it. They're about to try and take the fort.
This will be my fourth time watching.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's that good.
It's a great little. I like the fact that they bring you inside to see what they're up against.
My class was cheering on this scene. When we got to this part, we were cheering.
Cool.
It's an intense scene, I tell you. Ugh.
Yeah.
You got sand and lead and fire and
Shrapnel damage.
like I said, a good representation. If you reverse the film, you actually get what a little bit more what it actually looked like.
Yeah, good point.
That is not a good place to be.
No.
But there's some protection though.
Let's wait until it gets dark.
Which makes you wonder why they didn't just go at dark.
Yeah.
And quieter.
Desperation, perhaps?
Different time as well. Like I said, there's that bugle blowing and charge. So, stealth warfare was still quite a ways away.
Well, I think it was less honorable too. When you
Yeah, well, there was a sense of honor. Like I said, being up front there with your men. By the time radio came around, you're going to stay back there and tell them what to do through the radio.
that's not the cover of darkness. They can still see you.
Well, that's as dark as it's gonna get. They're lighting fires.
Yeah.
They're sending up flares. They're trying to brighten it up as much as they can because they want to see you coming.
Mr. Matchstick has to head on out. Thank you, sir. Hit the like button if you haven't already. I'd appreciate it. Ugh.
Springboard.
Yep.
We used to take a board and put it on one of these little hill things on our sidewalks and use that as a seesaw. The 90s when we improvised. Get up there. Then threw dynamite. Y'all throwing dynamite now.
Ain't easy to cannon and fire that low either.
This is almost D-Day.
Yeah.
You know he's doomed when they put it in slow motion like that.
Yeah.
Kind of reflection to the commanding officer in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm. And he picks up the flag.
Mm-hmm. And he gets hit. Oh, well, no, they're going to get that flag up there.
I love the choral.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it gets brutal.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I mean, it takes us. I mean, imagine like the attitude that a lot of people have today if they had to do something like this.
Yeah.
Sadly, I don't know if some of today's people have it in them. I don't know if I would have it in me. I'd like to think I would.
Same here. This is why we have these type of movies, guys.
Yep.
Yep.
It should never be portrayed as clean either.
No. Dirty, grimy, bloody, gore.
That's the reason why I love Fury so much.
It shows you what men are capable of.
Has anybody seen Fury yet?
I haven't seen that one.
No.
Oh my goodness!
Is that
Tank Warfare?
Tank Warfare? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about it. Brad Pitt.
Yep. A movie where I can tolerate Shia LaBeouf in.
God, what a way to end this film too.
Yeah.
Because there's the question mark: who lived, who died.
My wife was upset with this.
Yeah.
All the burials.
Yeah.
She wanted them to win.
Well, I mean, you can't change history. I mean, that's what happened.
I told her like the whole point is that they got that close.
Mm-hmm.
And it really was that. The whole point, truly, the whole point of the film is they got to fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And their charge was not meant to try to win. They were a diversion. They were to lead the way for others to start coming in to try to take it. But as you now see, they didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that they all died. Not to say that it was a loss. Well, I mean, you know, you got to take it as you got to read into it what you can, you know.
I like the way how they give them respect like that. Not defiling them other than just taking their shoes and maybe their weapons.
Because when his family asked, they asked what happened to him, and I mean they said we buried him with his, and the word that we're not going to say, but
I always call it, you know what it is.
Yeah, his family, but his family says, I don't think he would have wanted it any other way. I mean, I think he'd have been proud to be buried with his men.
Yep.
Of course, it kind of takes you out of the moment when you see his stomach going up and down as he's breathing.
Well,
Yeah, well, you know, hard.
even the best actor can only act so much, right?
And they say the number of the assault lost over half of its number in the assault. Supporting White Brigade also suffered heavily before withdrawing. The fort was never taken. Now, that's not to say that the Union never got the fort. The fort was eventually abandoned by when the South couldn't hold it. Just a Union force was never able to take it while it was defended.
Yep.
And there's the monument to this day, which is, I think it's, where'd they say that monument was? Let me try to find out.
Hopefully it's not defiled.
They're
saying what they were doing last year.
It's okay, constructed by Augustus St. Gaudens on the Boston Common. It's a part of the Boston Black Heritage Trail. A plaster of the monuments also on display in the entryway to the U.S. Paintings Gallery at the Paris Universal Exposition of 1900.
In July 2020, the monument became a focus of discussion during the iconoclasm that took place as part of the George Floyd protests.
Oh, no.
Like this 2008 reactivation, the unit was reactivated November 21st, 2008 to serve as the Massachusetts National Guard ceremonial unit to render military honors at funerals and state functions. The new unit is now known as the 54th Massachusetts Volunteer Regiment.
Mm-hmm.
So it still exists. It exists again.
I just don't want anything good associated with that criminal.
I know.
At all.
I know.
Do what now? What? What criminal? Who?
George Floyd's a criminal.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Because we actually find out the true story, unlike the media that will tell us that. Breonna Taylor is probably a better symbol if you really want to use it. George Floyd was just not, he just doesn't stand up to the scrutiny, unfortunately.
She's more a victim of circumstance, but she was hanging with the wrong crowd, so I don't use her as a good example either.
But
David
as far
Dorn
as
is more a better choice.
David Dorn, yeah, George Floyd. Now, I'm not saying he was. What happened to him was right. It wasn't. It was a terrible, wrong thing. About to get political, people.
But we can shelve that.
Yeah,
That's been talked about to death. We won't.
But I think everyone has an opinion, and just read. People need to really read about these things and get your thing. But that was good.
Memorial actually was taken off site so it could be cleaned and repaired.
Good.
And I think it was just restored 3 days ago.
Oh, sweet.
Boston restores monument to Black Civil War troops February 24th, 2021.
Great. The fact that, the defilement of something like that is, it just shows people not knowing their history.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we have repeated that a ton. You have to know the history before you start wiping out things.
Mm-hmm.
We were having about the founding fathers. A lot of people are trying to get rid of are trying to denigrate the founding fathers. It was a different time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to hold. Sure, did Thomas Jefferson have slaves? Yes, it was a common practice. It's, you know, but him personally, he didn't like it, but it at the time was kind of an economic necessity at the time. It just kind of was. But
it didn't start with white people. It started with every race.
Yeah, but now you've got everyone's trying to get rid of the musical Hamilton now because it honors the founding fathers. And even the guy who created it, Lin-Manuel, what's his face?
I think you said his name right.
Well, you know, the primary act, the guy who was like known for Miranda or something, Lin-Manuel Miranda, something like that.
Yeah, there you go. That's his name.
Yeah, even he's like, yeah, I think we need to like rethink. But no, you don't.
I like your songs, you jackass.
Yeah. Well, here's what it comes down to. If you really feel that strongly about it, you are continuing to live in this country under the blessings that the history you dislike has brought forth. So you're a hypocrite if you continue to live under the blessings of our union.
And then give back every penny you made off of that.
Exactly. And feel free to leave this country anytime you want. Yeah. Try to find yourself a country that never had slaves. Good luck with that.
Yeah,
good luck. They still have slaves.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, don't even get me started on reparations. Ugh.
Yeah. I don't need no reparations.
I gotta say,
I have a job.
Yeah, I mean, no one alive today was a slave in the Old South.
Yeah.
If they were, then God bless them. I want the secret to their longevity.
You also can't even hold me accountable for the sins of my forebears, because my family didn't even come to this country until after the Civil War.
Yeah. I'm not even sure about mine. I know mine. I think. Well, it depends what side too. Paternal. Or,
I would love to learn my lineage too, but
a lot of my lineage actually.
To look it up.
I know I had a lot that they came from Sweden. The father's side, I think. Yeah, my father's side, my grandfather's side, the paternal side. They someone tracked them and they went to Sweden. I'm not sure what years, but I was like, cool, I am a Viking. and actually, Viking was what you did, what you were.
Right. Viking was a verb.
It's a verb. You went a Viking.
Matthew Flynn points out that this movie won an award in the British Academy of Film and Television Arts. I did not know that.
Consolation.
Yeah, it did. I was surprised it wasn't nominated for best movie in the Academy Awards. It did win. It won Best Supporting Actor for Denzel. It won, and deservedly so, cinematography.
Yeah.
For Freddie Francis.
Any music awards?
The best sound. Although the score won the Grammy. It holds the distinction of being one of the few to win a Grammy but not even be nominated. It wasn't the score wasn't even nominated. Which is a crime.
Yeah.
It's a crime that did they put down the British, the BAFTAs, the British cinematography? Well, it was nominated the BAFTAs. It said it didn't give anything. No, it won a lot. Most of it was for Denzel and the NAACP Image Awards. It was Outstanding Picture. Kansas City Film Critics Best Director Edward Zwick. Grammy Awards Best Instrumental Composition Written for a Motion Picture or Television, James Horner.
Nice.
But it was nominated for a Golden Globe, but the only one it won was Denzel. But at least it was nominated for a film. But just a great film about a great period in history, a great story. I just thought it was an appropriate time I know a lot of people. It's like, well, there's only February is the only month of Black History. You should celebrate Black History, American history, European
Black history as American history.
Yeah, it is. But you know what's the funny? Now, this is going to sound weird. I remember because when they were all saying that biologically, we're all from the continent of Africa. That is where life began. So we're technically all African Americans.
There you go.
Someone said that once, and I'm like, you're kind of right.
Yeah.
But it was a great film, but I do want to know, Nanette, what'd you think? First time watching it.
Well, it was a really good story.
Okay.
Of course, when it came time for all the shooting, fighting stuff, I don't like that.
Well, yeah, but it happened.
More of the loudness of it. I don't like super loud noises like that. Rough, it hurts my ears.
Yeah.
But I know it's necessary because it's a war film. But I think it was told very well. I mean, I don't know how accurate it was.
It was pretty accurate.
Okay.
Much more accurate than a lot of other films.
Yeah.
Like on the Braveheart scale, this film might as well have just been brought out of history because Braveheart has got some major historical
yeah.
Yeah.
If we'll have to do Braveheart and just pick it apart one day because that thing, I love the movie Braveheart, love it, but it has got some major problems.
Yeah,
you could start with the kilts.
Yes, you are correct, sir.
Yeah, they did not have kilts back then. They did not do that, but and weapon, a lot of the weapons weren't.
No, I'm watching this show called Outlander. And they have kilts in that one.
I've heard but that's like what?
That's a fantasy, isn't it?
No, it's time travel. It's time travel.
It had something to do with time travel, right?
But it's the 1600s, right? 1600s,
yeah.
1700s.
They have guns.
They did have. That's much more appropriate to have kilts at that period. No, but in the 1300s, 1305, no, they did not have kilts. But yeah, I'm just sorry. I know it was a little bloody, a little violent for you, but it's a war film. You're going to have to deal with it.
Very well told.
Yeah.
It was a very well directed, very well filmed, very well acted, well written, well researched. The choices they made for the dramatic story were good choices. So I really can't. I mean, sure, every film's got faults, but it's just a good, solid historical drama, and I've just always liked it. I remember seeing it when it came out in the movie theaters. It's just a film I went to go see. Me and some friends, we enjoyed historical films, and this one was on our list, and got to enjoy it very much. So yes, that's great. And so for next week, Matters Network will be showing us
artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence that stars
I see dead people.
Haley Joel Osment,
Joel, whatever his name is.
I see synthetic people.
I see.
Yeah.
Keep me safe. Keep me safe.
Yeah.
And this will be a film I have not seen, so this will be a new one on me. I have not.
I was going to say something else, but that would have been spoilers right there. So I held my tongue.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
good thinking on my part.
Don't get into it for me. And actually, spoilers don't bug me so much. I'm good with spoilers. It never bothers me so much. But
me neither.
But I'm looking forward to it. I've never seen it, and like I said, for me, my next film will be March 13th, and it will be The Quiet Man with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. Love that. I just love that movie. And get a little Irish that night. Maybe I have to get a little Irish coffee, maybe. Yeah, I would. I don't know. I'll have to do something Irish. Maybe get some Irish soda bread. Chew on that during the film. But I do want to thank, of course, Troy and Annette for being here as usual. Thank you, and I would love to give special thank you to Wolf 10 Media for joining us tonight and giving his views on the film. So, Wolfie, what you got coming to your channel? Anything?
So it's mainly next Tuesday and Thursday. We'll be still continuing our retrospect talks of the X-Men films with Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix.
Okay.
No, Days of Future Past. I'm sorry, Days of Future Past and Apocalypse. Thursday, Leia Plus Size will be coming back talking about the body positivity movement.
Awesome.
And she has a bone to pick with that. So tune in for that one.
Well, I'm assuming with a name like Leia Plus Size. Just saying. I don't know. Is that coming?
It's true.
That's reason.
Let's not make any assumptions. Let's wait.
And I'm not. I'm just saying this is kind of sounds like what's coming into play. I am Big Al. Hello.
Oh no, absolutely. Actually, tomorrow morning on Matthew Flynn's channel, I'll be joining him for the second part of his talk about Transformers. A couple weeks back, we both shared. I shared my experience with Transformers. He kind of gave a background in history up through like the 80s, and he's going to educate me on the 90s and up to today.
Wow! So we're going to learn a little bit more about the Autobots waging battle with the Decepticons.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And then of course,
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow evening, of course, over on Age of Boomers channel, Geeky Geezers will be bringing you your weekly dose of geeky news and maybe just a little bit of outrage.
Maybe just a wee little bit. Any stories to look forward to? A little preview, maybe.
Yeah.
A little Lois, a little Superman Lois, little.
We will definitely touch a little bit on that. We will also probably talk about how it definitely seems like Warner Brothers wants to play out a little bit of a mini Favreau versus Kennedy action over there, because just when they're starting to get a little bit of positive press from the fans on their new Superman and Lois, they decide to drop an H-bomb of news about rebooting Superman, and we're going to talk about that.
And I hate the writer they've got associated with that. If what I hear is true,
I am too.
I will read to you a page
I didn't know
out of this book. Literally.
I did not know. I gotta say, I didn't know anything about this guy until I found out a little bit last night on Fan and his Fantastic Friends, and garbage, if you ask me.
I agree.
Monday night, Sound Engraver. I'm not quite sure what she's doing. I don't know if she has a little subject with us or is doing another Q&A, but whatever it is, please join her. It's always a fun time with the lovely Sound Engraver, the Monday Night Muse. Tuesday night, on the Catholic Bible Geek, the professor and I will be continuing our book study of The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Last night I misspoke and called it Prince Caspian because he's in it.
Long live Aslan.
And so, it's chapters 6 through 11, because this has 16 chapters, so we're getting 6 chapters here because they're kind of short. Read it today, so all ready for that on Tuesday night. On Wednesday night, I will be joining Soundtracks with the Birdman with Age of Boomer. And I will be the special guest as we watch the original 1982 Conan the Barbarian and discuss the wonderful soundtrack by Basil Poledarius. And we just enjoy a little vacation in the Hyborian age, or whatever. It's a Hyperborean? whatever.
What is best in life?
You know what? A good cheese sandwich, tomato soup.
Oh gosh.
A little
Good old
Mountain
Al.
Dew. I'm happy. Yes, that's Wednesday night. Of course, Green Lion Girl will be probably. She's still doing Final Fantasy.
Yeah, she is.
Still doing Final Fantasy. Thursday night, I will be at our new time at 9:00 on the Professor Geek channel. The professor and I will be finishing up the book study of Kenobi. So we'll be getting a resolution of that. I have not read it yet. I will be finishing up hopefully tomorrow. So I cannot wait to find out what happens. It's been a really great book. And the next one we're going to be doing is Red Harvest, which is a Star Wars horror zombie book. So looking forward to that. Friday night, Fanman and his fantastic friends. I'm not sure if that. I think there is one. I think that stay tuned. I'm pretty sure there is one, and I think there's some upcoming weeks that he may not be able to do it. But keep track of that. Speaking of the Fanman, his Second Cup Cafe is going back to Tuesdays and Thursdays around the 11:30 range Eastern Standard Time in the morning. Keep an eye out for that. And like I said, Wolf 10 Media's got his Wolf Commander rambles in the afternoons on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Please tune in for that. If you want links to this, please go to the YouTuber channel, YouTuber channel that she started up on Facebook. Hopefully she's putting a link down there.
I will.
And also the Professor Geek channel, which is also on Facebook, which also has a lot of links to a lot of people. And I know a lot of people are starting to do MeWe. I don't really know much about it right now, but if you are a part of MeWe, kind of look around for, the names, and I'm sure you can find some of the people on there. That is all I have. Do we have any final words or snide remarks?
I am dropping the link right now to the YouTube channel. I just put YouTube and then the link. But as always, I want to just thank everyone for being here, because without you guys, we don't have channels. It's just us talking amongst ourselves.
I'm going to say we would have channels. It would just be very small and pathetic.
But, we do super appreciate you guys so much. I mean, you're our family, and to spend this time with you each week is just really special to us. So thank you for being here.
That's all. Okay, I wish everyone a wonderful Sunday, a wonderful end to February, and getting ready to go or getting ready to fly into March. And I don't know, keep holding on, stay safe, stay healthy. And once again, thanks for joining us. Bye, everyone.
Night all.
Bye.